Okay folks, what we're going to do today is work with cutting or selecting part of an image and then moving it into another image. So what we're going to do is go to File Open, and we're going to open up the two images that we plan on using today, the beach ball and also the beach. Now if I hold down the Control key and select the two images at the one time and hit Open, and similar to what we've been looking at before, we can't see the other image, so we need to hit the Restore Down button. That allows us to move them side by side. Okay. Now we could simply just move this image over here, but there we're left with this white background which is no good to us. So what we're going to do is delete that, and we're going to be working with the beach ball layer, and we're going to use a selection method to select the overall shape. Now your selection tools are found up here, and there's a variety of them. Now if we hold down the left mouse button on either of these tools with the wee black arrow in the corner, we'll notice that there's other selection tools underneath them. And also up here for each of these you have methods of being able to create new selections, add to a selection, subtract and intercept from a selection. So starting off with the elliptical marquee tool, if I hold down the shift key, that allows me to constrain my proportions to producing a perfect circle. If I let go of the shift key, you'll notice it starts changing into oval shapes. Now what I want to do is try and select as much of the ball area as I can, and the selection is represented by these marching ants. So I want to try and push this out to follow the complete outline of the ball. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, using the Add to Selection tool, I'm simply going to draw more shapes on top of. Now this isn't a very accurate way of doing this, but it's just to show you the method of how the Add to Selection works. Instead what I could do is use the lasso tool, which works in such a way that you've got your new selection, add to selection and subtract. Now in this case I want to add to the selection, so if I select add to selection, I can draw around a shape, come back in again, and you'll notice that pushes out the perimeter of this selection, which is what I'm looking for. If I accidentally made a mistake and pushed the border or perimeter too far out, I can simply change to subtract from selection, and this time draw around from the outside, follow the line I want to keep, and come back again, and that chops that away. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll just pause the video and I'll continue to go all the way around using my navigator to zoom in, select the rest of the ball. Okay, so I've now selected the area that I wish to keep, and what I'm going to do now is copy the image. So if I go to Edit, Copy, that's me copy the area selected within this marching ant perimeter. I'm going to restore the window down so I can see the image I want to place on top of. Using my Move tool, I can expand this window, and if I simply go to Edit, Paste, there's my selection pasted on the page. Using the Move tool, I can move the ball about. I'm going to just name it, I'll call it Beach Ball, and if I want to resize it, same way you would resize any layer or image, Edit, Transform, Scale. Now again, if I start moving these points, I'm going to squash and stretch the image, which is no good to me. So I need to remember to hold the Shift key down and pull the corner. No matter which way I rotate the mouse, it's always going to constrain the proportions. Once I'm happy, let go of the mouse first, then Shift, and then hit your wee tick to commit to the transform. Using the Move tool, again I can move the ball about, and if I want to make a copy, I can duplicate the layer by right clicking on the layer, duplicate layer, give it another name, and with this layer selected it now means I'm moving the copy. Edit, Transform, Rotate this time, and that allows me to rotate the ball. Tick to commit. Similarly, I could go back to Scale if I wanted to resize the ball, holding Shift, perhaps to give the illusion that it's further in the distance.